It's been a long time since we've put a video out, so I just wanted to thank you for watching this update. We have Wesley and Erik here, and myself. Just wanted to, get this out and give you some updates, let you know what's going on in the trucking world, what's going on with Rangeway and TruckWise. I just wanted to kind of give you guys the introduction here. We got Wesley on. Wesley, nice to have you, man.
Yeah, good to see everybody. Good to talk. Obviously, we talk more frequently, but it's nice to be back and say hello to everyone.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, what's the good word in trucking these days? What are some good things you got going on, and what are some challenges you might be seeing right now in trucking and with what's going on with all the different things and that are going on around the country?
Yeah, so I think obviously trucking's a hot button topic when anytime you speak about the economy or how things are going, and you turn on the news every week, it seems there's a trucking company that's established or a freight brokerage even that's established, and somebody's going out of business. So I think that just goes to show that it is a difficult industry. If you make mistakes and you go in the wrong direction for long enough, you've got fixes, you can do things, but if you don't change the core or have a good core group or good software or good bank relationships and all those things, that it could anybody, a $3.8 billion brokerage can go bankrupt. So I think those things out in the market are there. I think some of that's been holding the market falsely down. I know we talked about that earlier. I don't think the market in the freight rates are as bad as what they show they are. I don't think they should be as bad as they are. There's enough demand out there and enough people buying. From all the things we can tell in the economy, certain segments slow, but that's just part of it. We've got seasonality, especially in flatbed, van, right? But now October spot rates are starting to come back up, 8 to 10%. Why? Who knows for flatbed specifically. So I think it goes to show these guys get out there, these freight brokerages, and they undercut each other. They try to get the volume guarantees, and really they get the rate down so far that a lot of times to keep the volume, they're losing money. So I think there's a lot going on in the market that impacts the spot market. So if you look and just turn on the news and see, oh, big trucking company goes out of business that's 45 years old, it's not telling the whole story, but it doesn't mean there's not challenges. It presents challenges for us in the backhaul market. People are slowing down their days to pay a little bit here and there, trying just in case something happened. They may be traditionally a net 30 and they're net 40 now. So I think those things from a broad perspective in the trucking industry, which I can sit here and talk about forever, I think they're all impacting everything. I think the driver market has softened up just a little bit. The recruiting and getting drivers in the door has gotten easier for most people, including us. There's a lot of issues with turnover. I think that's a byproduct of the last 3 years. It's created this industry wide. We jump company to company as they were getting pay increases, deservedly so. But there was always grass greener on the other side. So I think that's part of our future. No matter what, we're just going to deal with it. And again, it's really hard. We can vet everything safety wise on drivers. We can go and tell literally everything about them, drug tests, all their work history, every job they've ever had, and you're still going to get guys that come in and aren't a good fit, or maybe they have a life change, or someone gets sick, or they find another job that pays more and home more, or whatever it is. All these things are always going to happen, and so we deal with that some too. Anytime you're growing, which we've been doing, you're going to deal with those things. But the positive news is the inflow of drivers coming in has been so good that we're not taking steps backwards. We'll take 3 steps forward and 2 back instead of 3 steps forward and 4 back. So that's a positive thing, I would say, for us. Maintenance, it's always one of those things that comes in waves. I don't know if people are superstitious, but they say bad things always happen in 3 or whatever. Maintenance comes in swings. It's usually like twice a year, and it's typically when the temperature changes. The temperature's changed a little bit. We've had a little bit more rash of breakdowns, and the breakdowns aren't really the big issue. It's the shops are so backed up they can't get the truck in to work on them. So we've had to amend how we look at some of our breakdowns. Traditionally we've been a small enough company, we just kind of have to rely on wherever it breaks down, whatever dealership or mom and pops may be near, as long as they'll do the warranty work, obviously. Now we're looking at decisions and say it breaks down in, Birmingham, Alabama, where we are, we're towing the truck to Montgomery, Alabama, because there's less of a wait time to get into the shop. You still deal with a little bit of parts back orders. You still deal with small things that you can't control. But we're trying to make better decisions to get the truck on the road more quickly. Sometimes you just can't do anything. Sometimes the cost of towing the truck 300-400 miles doesn't outweigh waiting the 2 days for the shop to get it in. Once it's in there, maybe there's something else that happened that delays it. But we've got a good program. We've got another mechanic coming in with a lot of experience that's going to help kind of drive this with us as well. He's worked with all the technologies and big companies for 12 or 14 years, I think. And so we're excited to have someone else added to the team to just help that maintenance thing. And that goes down to just tires too, right? So even our guys that are in the fleet that have investor trucks, they're renting a trailer from us. Well, if a trailer blows a tire, it's slowing their truck down a few hours to get one. So if we're in a good cycle, we've got the best tire that fits what we do. All these things start coming together, I think, and it'll save us time and money over the course of a long period of time. So we're doing all kinds of cool stuff internally, but kind of where the economy is, it's it's a pretty stable place right now. Obviously, World War III might break out any day. We've been through war. So barring anything nuclear, I felt pretty good about that everything's going to be okay. Unfortunately, flatbed kind of has a bump usually if there's a war in the past 15 years. So we don't want war. We don't want any of that stuff. But if it happens, just from a perspective, I think the industry will still be intact and moving because we've got to have all of our goods. We still got to keep functioning. It may just shift on what we do. But I'd love to dive in, some specifics on things we're doing and where we've been at as well. We've had a interesting time, I think, since we started really back in March or so. And if you looked at us from even May or June, and now it's a completely different company. You walk in the door, and we've been able to improve a lot of things. We have a new COO, Retta, that has come in and really helped revamp and do a lot of things and get expectations out. Every single employee in the building has new expectations, new job duties. They're signed. We're all on one page. We've changed kind of how we flow and some of the structure of information and operations to get more, in going forward in the same direction, I guess I would say. So we're really excited about that. We're staffed at this point to hold another 25 trucks right now, and it took us time to do that. But we've got the best staff that we've had in 11 years as a whole, and that goes from sales, operations, and load planning and dispatch. Operations manager, safety guy we just brought in is a guy that is on the same page and wanting to move forward exactly how we want to treat the drivers exactly how we want them to be treated and how they deserve to be treated, but also has that growth mindset. We're going to do this. We're going to do it right. We're going to do this. And so that helps the recruiting cycle. That helps the insurance renewal that comes in February. So having everybody on the same page and the team that we put a lot of time and effort into building right now for the extra growth we're going to do, we're there. We've got a great team. Doesn't mean there's not little things that we're still going to continue to fix. Big portion of that is we bought a new TMS software. We committed that a couple months ago. I think we maybe alluded to it a couple videos ago, but we're super excited about it. It's a software that all of the big guys use. It's the one that helps you scale. It puts all of your operations, accounting, APIs, EDIs with customers. Everything's in one picture. It's going to improve how we do our settlements every month. Instead of us having to hand jam our numbers with our truck owners, it's going to let the software automatically give, hopefully more quickly, weekly updates also. But at minimum, it's going to be where that data automatically pops in. Your fuel, your maintenance, all the things are just going to show up. You're going to be able to see it inside the portal, which I know you guys can talk a little bit more about here in a second. But those things are all moving in the right direction. That software, unfortunately, it's a big software. It's a huge commitment. We've got a new controller that's come in that we're super excited about that'll go and do the training on that software along with Retta next week. So they'll become super users and start to set up that software next week. And we're going to go live for financial reasons, but really operations reasons too, on January 2nd. So starting January 2nd in the new year, we will be in it full time. And I think it comes up 3 or 4 times a day, both in operations or COO saying, when we have this software, these problems will be solved. Or when we have, this other thing, the software is going to solve our small informational gaps, the efficiency of operations, knowing where trucks and equipment are in one place, not having to go and multi-use a bunch of different portals. So we're super excited about that. They'll be in office a week in November, training us on it. They'll come back, do a few things in December, and then they'll be here the whole first week of January as we go live. So really excited about that. I would say kind of from just a individual truck owner perspective, the maintenance has impacted a few guys here and there. Not necessarily, again, the maintenance bills have come in and impacted severely, but the downtime impacts it. The driver turnover, we have driver turnover. Most of them are guys that come in and they're here less than a week. They probably had put in for 4 or 5 jobs, took the first one that said, okay, we vet them, we talk to them, we do everything we can. Ultimately, they get here and it's not a good fit for them. And it's probably better that we find out then than 4, 5, 6 months down the road, and maybe a truck gets stranded or something gets out that's not something that we could try to help control. So we always try to do our best to uh, manage expectations, let everybody know what it's going to be, but it's never going to be perfect. Even if it is perfect, it's never going to go perfectly well. So we've had some of that, but the good news again is we've got a great driver pipeline. The guys work really hard on that, and Heidi works really well on that. Our team internally is better than we've ever been on processing those guys between Darian and Chandler, and everybody pushing in one direction. We had some bad apples internally at a period that it didn't work out great, but it was in a role that we couldn't afford to not have someone in safety. So now that we've got someone in that's awesome and part of the team that we love, we're really excited about where that's going to go. If you guys have any thoughts or things that people ask frequently, I'm an open book. So if there's anything that we want to address out there, but from an overall
Yeah.
perspective, I would say even the guys that have drivers down, have maintenance issues, every truck that I can recall has made money every month. So I think that's a positive to say that even when stuff goes wrong or, the spot rates are still down or the economy is down, we're still able to produce something well. But there's tons of things we've got to get better at. There's tons of things we're working on to make sure that we're scaling in the right way and doing things the right way. And we're working on that every single day. Whether it's, make sure we have the right number of equipment, the right number of freight. We sign on another customer. These large shippers aren't taking on a lot of new trucking companies right now. It is really hard to get into the big guys. And we got into one of the big ones. We hauled our first load about 2 weeks ago. We're doing 2 to 4 loads a day with them. And so I think it's a big deal to show that we were able to get in during that time frame. They saw the value in us for not right now, but for the next 5, 7 years, which I think is really important. And we're in there and hauling for them, like I say, 2 to 4 loads a day already with a massive shipper that we didn't anticipate closing anytime soon. Our bread and butter is the small, medium companies. We've got large companies out there, but again, typically, if you can get a large company, they're that cornerstone to where we can go and build off of them somewhere else. Sales teams out there laying the groundwork in some new regions for us right now, for us to be able to expand not only where we can hire drivers, but where those core groups of customers are. It helps us from backhaul standpoint, head haul standpoint, if we have drivers that live there. So we're excited about everything that's happening. Doesn't mean it hasn't been a lot of hard work. That's probably why we hadn't put out as many videos as we did before. There's definitely a lot of work into it. But I think State of the Union, I think overall we're doing okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. We
What
appreciate it.
we got people that ask about too, like where you see us going, or where things are going to be over the next year or a few years anyway, like with scaling, or what your plans are.
Yeah. So I think we had this conversation earlier. We're at a place now we can take on about 20 or 25 more trucks. We don't have to hire another staff member. We don't need any extra software. We don't need any other trailers. We might, unless we needed a couple specialized trailers here and there, maybe we add some. Which the market on used equipment and the trailer market has gotten better. Trailers not gone down as quickly as the used truck market, but the trailer market's come down a little bit. So if we needed trailers, it's not in a terrible spot to get those. They're pretty easy. But I'd say we're in that place to take on 20 or 25 more trucks, and we're all working on some deals. I think that might bring on 5 or 6 here or there, 2 or 3 here and there. So we're excited to bring those on. With the recruiting pipeline the way it is, we feel pretty confident recruiting drivers, all the way up to early December. I think traditionally it's hard after Thanksgiving to recruit guys, but I think the way they're moving now and all, as long as it's not that week before Christmas, they can get that one quick paycheck in before Christmas. Feel pretty good about us still being able to recruit all the way up into mid December, and then it turns back on the week after the new year. So we really don't anticipate a massive gap on recruiting. The freight might slow a little bit here and there, but as we were talking earlier, there's been weeks that we've been as busy as we could be the week between Christmas and New Year's. There's no way to predict it. It's a 50-50 coin flip. Some people shut down and some people are trying to get stuff in before the end of the year. So just as a general idea there, we could sustain that amount of trucks. We've got the internal staff, we've got the equipment, the e-logs ready to go, everything that we can support that amount. When we go into next year, I think we get into a point then of where we get to make that decision, how many we want to add next year. I think the idea might be like 15 a quarter, right? And to do that, we might only need to add 2 people internally. That's why we've staffed and cross-trained and are improving with this software to the point to where if we get to next year and we want to go from 75 trucks to 135 trucks, we can sustain it really with only 1 or 2 strategic hires. So kind of why we went and did things the way we did now. This year, went ahead and got the groundwork laid.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of opportunity for some freight out there and growing with your customers and stuff. So can you tell us, to all the owner operators that are out there looking for somewhere to come and to call home, can you tell us a little bit more about the new owner operator authority that you started and how that's going and what that entails?
Yeah, so we've always had this idea, or I have, of the past year, I would say owner operators in general are out there in the market alone right now. Freight was really good. It was really easy for them to operate. They could hide in the shadows, right, and not be fulfilled, in a way that they could hide their inefficiencies, I guess I could say. The insurance was more expensive on them. The fuel was traditionally more expensive on them, but the rates were good enough they could kind of hide it. Well, now everything's changed. There's been more owner operators out in the world than ever before. They go out there and either they had issues with their new entrant audit, and maybe they didn't have their safety files in order, or they gave up because their insurance got too expensive, or the rates went too cheap where it wasn't worth them to do it on their own. They didn't have enough direct shippers to go and do it. So this company we created is called Owner Op United Trucking. Created it last year and then kind of tabled it just to make sure we had all these other things in place, but we fired it back up. We've hired an operations manager under that company. We got our first truck under that company, working out some of the kinks of just a brand new authority. The idea there is to get guys that are either own a little bit older model truck that want to bring it in and us place a driver in it, or a true owner operator that's the driver running the truck, either one, to give them a good home to come in and be able to run, earn a good income, have access to our discounts of fuel, access to our direct customers, access to cheaper insurance, our factoring rates cheaper, all of those things, to make it where it's easier for them and they can take that hit on the percentage difference, because there's a difference. There's no question, but it gives them that cushion of fallback where they're not out on an island by themselves, but yet they still are out operating as an independent guy. They're making their own decisions, deciding where they want to go. They're still living the trucker's dream, for lack of a better word. So we've got that company. We've always wanted to kind of separate it a little bit, because I think the two different types of drivers and assets need 2 different types of things at times. So I think being able to have more focus on what they need each in a separate way will just help it over time. So we're excited about that.
Yeah. Awesome. So we actually had Stephen and Harrison join us. Stephen and Harrison, just so you guys all know, there are developers that are working in the background. They've been working hard for the last 6 months. We've been having a lot of meetings with them, figuring out ways to improve our backend systems for tracking and reporting, and making sure that you guys are all kept up to date on things that are happening. And they've really created an amazing system in the back end that hooks up to a system called Go High Level. Go High Level is now integrated in with, we're working on getting integrated in with the TMS system that we're using, so that all these reports that Wesley was talking about, they're easily, found. You can, find them back in your back office. But I just wanted to introduce Harrison and Stephen, and then maybe let them share their screen if they could. If they're ready to do that. I made Stephen, I made you the host. If you could just maybe share your screen and show the back end of what we have and what we're working on, because we're always continuing to make that better and make it a better user experience for all of our clients.
Yeah, thank you, Anton. So excited to be here, guys, and show you and share with you about your trucking reporting page for all of our clients who have signed up. So we'll just go ahead and make sure everybody can see that. Can you guys see the screen there?
Yep.
All right. So basically, we've created a backend system that will allow you to log in and see your trucking assets as it develops. So you would be able to see your trucks in the back end of the system, and it would show your profits over time, month to month, by each truck. And then also a couple more graphs in here. We have a little chat widget that allows you to communicate with us if you have any issues or have any questions. And we will respond via text message back to you. But you can click on a truck and kind of dial in exactly what is happening with that truck over the time of total profit, revenue, your expenses, and then even view your P&Ls and download those P&Ls. So you would also get a monthly email with a PDF P&L as well. All right, so here it is. So you would be able to see your P&L. We also share it with you on a Google Drive so that you have access to it there as well. But you could even download this from the system here by downloading it as a PDF. But we'll also send you an email update as well of a PDF to your email monthly. But so it's very simple right now, but we're adding more bells and whistles as we speak and as we connect the systems even more together. So just a place where everyone can log in and see all the action, see what's happening with their trucks and see what's going on.
Yeah. And I think the idea eventually, you guys, is we're gonna have pictures of the trucks that you have. We'll have the VIN numbers in there eventually, potentially the driver's name, but just, little things here and there that would just kind of, show you guys what's going on and make you feel comfortable and excited. Fantastic. Thank you, Stephen. All right. Anything else you can think of, guys?
No, thank you. If anybody needs anything, we'll respond accordingly. And Heidi is here as well. So she's one of the project managers who handles a lot of the communications. And, we all work together to perform for the clients.
Yeah. Heidi, if you want, I just want to introduce Heidi. Heidi is basically our driver recruiting specialist. She actually is the one that communicates with all of our drivers. She actually sends them through all of the different systems in the back, sends them over to our safety. But Heidi, do you want to just say hi and introduce yourself? And if you're on.
Hi, guys. Yep, I'm here. I'm happy to be here, and I'm grateful to be on this team, and we're rocking and rolling and happy to help you with whatever you need to do.
Thank you, Heidi.
You bet.
I used to hear Wesley or Heidi, and maybe Heidi can answer it too, but maybe like how's the driver pipeline looking and the outlook on that, I guess. We have quite a few trucks still coming in, I think, and making sure we have drivers in all those trucks.
Yeah, we've got a good pool right now of drivers that I have looked at that just basically skimmed over their applications, and it looks like they have the qualifications we need. We're waiting on Riggs and safety to look at them and decide if he's going to move forward with them or not, run their MVRs and PSPs. So yeah, it's looking good. We can always use more and keep it going, but we've got a good pool right now. Owner operator side, we're getting leads in there also. So I'm definitely staying busy.
Yeah, and from the marketing standpoint, the traffic can be cranked up at any time. We've been, very fortunate in having people respond and have great feedback from our driver pipeline and what's been going on. So everything is working good on the ad standpoint and bringing people in. If we need more, we can flood it.
Yeah, awesome. Hey guys, I would like to just add, down below this video, we're going to be posting some links to our social media channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you guys, partners of ours and anybody else, if you could share, share the pages, like the pages, anything like that. If you had a great experience, we'd love to have like some feedback from you. But we really appreciate all of you, giving any feedback and sharing our pages, and any kind of things that you do on that would really help us in the long term by building our brand and getting everybody to know us out there on the internet. So one of the things that we've kind of come up with, you guys, is we have a lot of people to come into us for other types of automations that maybe don't have the funds to do the option 1 or 2 or 3. So what we've been able to do is kind of created a starter package for trucking, which is going to be a 10K option. And I'll let Erik take it away on what kind of that entails. But it's pretty simple and easy to get started.
But yeah, anyway, really what we've done is just, people come to us, they got, if they have 10K to spend instead of going into like Amazon or something, which, we've done Amazon for years, but it's just kind of in a downtime right now. And trucking's been proven out, and we've got a great partner with Wesley and Rangeway, and so it's been very awesome. So I mean, we would love to we have this option for people to come in and do a 10K package. And essentially all it is really we have our 40K package, which is essentially like half of the LP option, really. So like you look at one of those LP trucks, that 3,500 to $6,000 range, we just take that and divide it into 8 shares essentially. So you could buy 1 share, 2 share, 3 shares, 10 grand per share. Each share should return you about anywhere probably between like $450, $600 a month, somewhere in there. Nothing that's crazy exciting is owning your own truck, but for somebody that doesn't have the funds to do it, this could be a way to get to that point. Maybe get in here, start with this, and then move into other things, or work towards getting towards like a full truck or a full option 1 or 2. But anyway, so it's just an option for people to come in and be able to get into trucking, be able to build towards something, or even add on. If you wanted to add on, like buy an option 1 and add on an extra share or something like that, that's a possibility too. So just a way to get in, get a little more, get your money working for you in something that's better than sitting it in the bank, I guess. So we have a page on our site. You can sign, go to our trucking page. I'll put the link below, and you can check out our packages and then see the option about the shares. And if you're interested, just let us know, and you can either set up a call with us or just let us know, and we can send over the paperwork and invoice. And anybody who signs up in that package too, if you sign up today, like even today, like we have trucks on the road already, so you'll be receiving revenue as of the first of the full month after you sign up. So anytime you sign up here in October, you'll be getting revenue already on November 1st. So quick to get you on the road and get you up and running. So pretty awesome.
All right. Thank you, Erik. All right. Anything else? Wesley, do you have any last words? Steven, Harrison? Good video, guys.
Yeah, nothing here. I'm excited about it.
Awesome.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff coming.
Yeah.
All right.
So, well,
Awesome.
Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate your time. We appreciate all of you partnering with us, and we look forward to our future together. You guys have a great day. Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.